Okay. Well, what you can see is when Laura signs, it is that lyrical dance. Mackenzie goes, OMG, so cool, right? This is why I wanted to bring my daughter as our first guest artist, because we are learning Lean on Me in sign language. And if you are not expressive as a singer, then your audience can't connect as well to your music. If you're not expressive as a signer, then your audience cannot connect to that music. So all of my students are dropping in the chat that was so cool. That was like amazing. Thank you. That is so cool. Thank you all. That just makes my mama's heart happy too, that you appreciate that. There is such beauty when you add that visual element to music, and that's why I'm passionate about it. So are you all ready to get started on learning how to sign this? Cool. Now, one quick thing with sign language, is this correct, Laura, that your sign language box is really...
Pretty much, yeah.
But when we're doing the expressive stuff, you might go outside of that box for some of your signs.
Yeah.
Okay. If you are comfortable to turn on your camera, that just helps us give feedback and to know if we need to slow down or do something again. If not, perfectly okay. So I'm going to turn it over to you. Can you teach us the title first?
Yes. Okay, and so I'm going to try and stay in the camera box. I'm used to being really, really big because I'm related to this one. So if I'm doing that, that is why. I was going to say something. I don't remember what I was going to say. So we're just going to go on. So A Million Dreams. That is, you take your helper hand, so your non-dominant hand, it's going to be flat. And then your dominant hand, which is for me, my right hand, is going to make kind of like this weird, I'm going to get close to the camera. It's kind of like this. It's like a weird straight shape. And you're going to tap it on the bottom of your helper hand and then the top of your helper hand. And that is a million. And then dreams, you take a D, which is 3 fingers down and your thumb up with your pointer finger up. And you're going to wiggle the stem of the D over your head like a dream cloud. So dreams. So together that is a million dreams. And can you be signing with me?
A million
dreams. So we kind of use that a lot in this song.
Yeah. All right. Go for it. I will
Cool.
sign with you as you teach them. Go for
Awesome.
it.
So tell me if I'm going too fast. I have never taught this big of a group, so if I'm going too fast, please say something and I will slow down a bit.
Or just raise your hand. Just
Yeah.
because squirrels today would not be good for me, so I shut the chat down. If you have questions, I'll open it back up at the end. And so if we're going too fast, you could just tell us.
Or like put up an emoji. Can
Or
they do
put
the
up an
emojis?
emoji. Yeah, you could do an emoji.
Yeah, you could do help or put up an emoji, so then I'll totally slow down, no worries.
Okay. Go for it.
Cool. So we're going to learn first the signs for every night I lie in bed. So first we're learning every. So every, you kind of take 2 sign language A's. A's are kind of like this. Make sure that your thumb is up like that. And you're going to take your helper hand and put it kind of down here. And your dominant hand, and you're going to kind of, I'm going to go like this so you guys can see. You kind of pass by your thumb like that. Down like this, so every. And I do it down to my left, to my non-dominant side. So it's like every, like this.
Okay. Every.
So every. And then the sign for night, we're using these magic little weird cup hands that we've used like 4 times today again. And you're going to take your non-dominant hand and bring it kind of down like this. And then you're going to take your dominant hand and put it over the top like this. So that's night. It's kind of like the sun is going down over the horizon. So night.
Night.
So together.
Okay.
That
together.
is every night. Yes.
Do you find it helpful to say the words as you're learning them?
I do. I typically learn like 3 or 4 signs and then I start singing it with it at a slower pace.
Okay, so I would suggest for my students that when we're doing this and we're practicing to go ahead and say out loud every night, so you're having that audio input as well as the visual and the kinesthetic. Okay, that'll help you learn better. Okay, go for it.
Okay, so that's every
Every
night.
night.
And then for I, you're just going to point to yourself with a pointer finger. And so in sign language, we use this pointer finger for I and me. And then for my, we do a flat hand. So you're going to point for I. So together, that is every night I. And if I'm running it over multiple times, like every sign, that's because that's how I learn it best. So we're probably going to go over it several times. I promise it will help you in the end.
Okay.
So every night I lie. So now for lie. So you're going to kind of make like one of those little walking people. And you're going to kind of go like this. You're not really making a sign language K, but you kind of are. So he's going to have his two little legs and his bed. And you're going to go like this. So if you can see, I'm kind of going like that, and I'm laying him down in the bed. So lie, and you kind of slide across your palm like that.
Lie.
So lie.
Okay.
So does that make sense?
Lie.
Okay.
Yeah. Can we go from
So
the beginning?
together that is every night I lie. And then the sign for in is with your non-dominant hand, you're kind of going to make a pocket like this, like a little O, and then you're going to put your fingers in the little pocket.
In.
So
Now, is that's an extra word? Should we have that in here or just go straight to bed?
I do that one. You guys don't have to do that one. That's just what I do because it like,
Okay.
I just thought it made sense when I was learning it the first time.
Okay. Because remember, sometimes in sign language we don't do all of those little connector words, but
Yeah.
this is a great sign to know. In.
Yeah. So if you feel confident adding in the in, if it's not too many things at once, then do it. You totally don't have to though. It will totally make sense otherwise.
Okay.
So let's run that over like twice now just to make sure we have it.
Okay.
So together that's, can you let me do the singing?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so together, sign with me though,
Oh,
is
okay.
every night I lie in. So let's do that one more time. Every night I lie in. How you guys doing? Okay, I see a lot of thumbs up. I like that. Okay, now the sign for bed is, I think, a pretty chill one. It's just kind of like this. It's like you're lying your head on a pillow. For me, when I'm doing this, I kind of move it up. So it just adds to kind of the lyrical flow, but this is bed. This is also commonly used for bed or sleep, but I'm using one hand. You can use two if you want to. So together,
All of that.
all of
it?
that, all of
Okay.
that first line. You can do it. I believe in you.
We
Okay,
got this.
so
Ready?
every.
Whoops,
You
I
can do
messed
it.
up.
It's okay. It's
I
okay.
messed up. It's okay.
You got
I went
this.
to night first. Okay, every.
I
Here
have
we
done
go.
that more times than I can count.
Okay. I am ready.
Every night I lie in bed. Let's try that one more time. I'm seeing a lot of really good signing proud. Okay, so every night I lie in bed. I'm loving all the signs for bed. They look so good.
Yeah.
Now I see what you're talking about teaching to a classroom with students you can actually see and how you
Oh
can
my
see them doing
gosh.
stuff.
It's
She's
so
always
amazing.
telling me that it's awesome, but now I kind of vibe with it.
Yes.
Cool.
Right.
So now we're gonna learn brightest colors. Brightest colors is kind of a weird one because even though you're saying two words, you're kind of signing three things. So I'll show you it together and then I'll teach you it. So brightest colors is brightest colors. And how you're gonna do that to sign bright is like two just flat hands going up and out. Kind of like your dreams are shooting out of the top of your head because they're so cool. So bright. And then for the kind of test part, you're kind of taking the two A's like from every, but you're gonna do them like this. And you're gonna point your thumbs at the sky and go down. And it's your dominant hand that's doing the moving. So together, that is, we're gonna start on brightest. So brightest. And that one is really easy to forget. If you accidentally forget that, it's totally fine to just say bright colors. It'll still be understandable, so it's totally okay. So that's brightest. And then colors, I really like colors. You're going like this. So you're kind of tapping your chin with your fingers. So it's brightest colors. So let's try that from the very beginning.
Oh, gosh.
That's like her least favorite phrase. I will say it now.
Okay.
And I feel that. Okay,
Okay.
so we're going to start on every. Remember, every is like this, okay?
Okay.
Every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors. Let's do that one more time, and then we'll keep moving on. Okay. Every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors. Now, fill my head is a little easier than brightest colors in my opinion. So if you've got brightest colors, you can totally handle fill my head. So fill my head, first the sign for fill is like you're going to take your non-dominant hand. For me, that's my left hand. It might be your right hand if you're left-handed. We got that. So your non-dominant hand, and you're kind of going to go like this. I don't know if you can see me very well. You're kind of being a big jar, and you're making a big circle. And then you're going to take your dominant hand, try to stand really tall. You fill up the bucket with your hand. So sometimes you see this when when you see people saying like breathing exercises and stuff, they'll go like this. It's very similar to that. So fill. And then remember how I said earlier, it's me, I, my. So this is my. So you're going to do a flat hand. So fill, my, and then head. You're going like this. So a very similar shape to the thing in A Million. And you're just pointing at your head with all of your fingers. So together, that is fill, my, head. So let's do brightest colors, fill my head.
Okay.
So brightest colors, fill my head. Let's do that line one more time.
Okay.
So brightest colors, fill my head. Now let's do it from the beginning.
Here we go.
Okay, we're gonna start on every, and remember every is like that, okay? So, let me do the singing. Okay, so every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. That was so good. Okay, let's do that one more time, okay? Every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. How are you guys doing? How are you keeping up? Awesome. I love the
Yes.
amounts of thumbs up.
Yes.
Okay. Every night, the brightest colors fill my head, a million dreams. Okay, that's where we're at. It's like with the ABCs where you have to sing it all the way through to find out what letter is before, like Q or something. I am the same way with this song. So now we're doing a million dreams are keeping me awake. That's one of my favorite stanzas. So a million dreams, y'all already learned this at the beginning, but I'll go over it again. Doing a million is like that. And then dreams with the wiggly D. So a million dreams. Now the sign for keeping is very similar to another sign that I use later in the song. But so the sign language K is like this. It's your dominant hand and you're making like a little K with your pointer and middle finger and thumb. You're making two of them. And you're going, this one's kind of weird to show you guys the hand symbols, but you're going to point the K's forward and then on top of each other and go like that with it. So it's keeping me. So it's let's start from a million. A million dreams are keeping me. And the sign for awake, one of my favorites, you take like two F's kind of. This is the sign language F. You put it up to your eyes like you have glasses, and you flick open your fingers and go out like this. So it's almost like you're opening your eyes. So let's take that from a million. A million dreams are keeping me awake. And feel free to, when you're doing awake, that's my favorite sign, to do the big face on like awake, and it's really fun. Okay, so let's do that line and I'm gonna sing it. Okay, so a million dreams are keeping me awake. Now let's start at brightest colors, okay? So, is that okay? Okay, let's try that. The brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. Let's do that from brightest colors to that one more time, okay? The brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake.
Good.
Now let's do it from the start.
From the start, and then we'll finish it up.
Okay.
Because the next ones are really cool, and the
That's
end's
true.
not hard to
Yeah,
learn,
the ending's
right?
super, super easy.
Okay, you guys are like doing
You are
so
though. I'm
amazing.
so proud.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Hold on a sec. We're gonna keep moving along. I see that, Kate, but I want to make sure that we get through the whole chorus. So I'm gonna keep Laura moving on this. Okay. So
Okay.
save your question
So
to
are
the
we
end.
running over it again, or do you want me to keep going?
Can we go from the beginning and then
Yeah.
teach us the
Okay,
ending pretty
from
quick?
the beginning one more time, and then I'll finish up teaching you. Okay, so starting on every, remember that's the two A's. Okay, so every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. Okay, that was beautiful. Okay, so now we're learning, I think of what the world can be, a vision of the one I see. So with I think of what the world can be, that's you point with two fingers to your temple. That's I think. Well, that's think, but I think works too. So I think, and then the sign for what is also pretty easy. Flat palms down, and you're like, what? So you kind of move your flat palms down here. So what? So that's I think of what. The sign for world, you're taking two W's, just like this. You're moving them in, and they're going to circle each other. So the world. So that's I think of what the world. Now the sign for can is like you're taking like two sign language S's and you're moving them down like this. So like that. And the sign for can, there's a ton of different variations for it. So you're sometimes going to see it like this. And there's some weird ways that you'll see it done, but this is like the main ASL one that I know. So together that's I think of what the world can. And then the sign for B, you're taking an ASL B, which is a flat hand with your thumb in with your dominant hand, and the center of your chin out. And it's a straight out thing. So can be. So let's do that one time real quick. So I think of what the world can be. Should we go from the beginning?
Nope. Let's keep moving
Okay.
from there.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
So a vision of the one I see is the easiest line you're going to learn. Vision is kind of like a V, and you're touching your eye and going out. And then you come back and you go, but with one finger this time, the one eye, and then you're using your V again because vision and see are pretty much the same thing. See. So it goes 2, 1, 2 for the vision of the one I see. So let's do from I think of what the world can be.
Okay, cool.
So it's I think of what the world can be, a vision of the one I see.
Yes. And those are, you were telling me last night that you are really, when you do that,
Yeah, I
you're
go
like
way
super expressive with those, because this is like your visions and then of the one, and then see is more that close in type of thing.
Feel free to be really big with these and out there. I mean, when I was doing it for the graduation, it was in a room with a lot of people and they didn't have a camera on me. So I was like signing really big, hoping they could see me. I was like signing in all capital letters.
Okay.
But
Can we take it from I think of what the world can be, and then we'll finish it up?
yes.
Cool.
And then I want to go over it from the start again.
Yes,
Okay,
for sure.
so we're going to start from I think of what the world can be. So I think of what the world can be, a vision of the one I see. And then we're signing a million dreams again, which you guys know. A million dreams. And then the sign for is all. Super simple. You take your non-dominant hand and you point it, or is all, nope, it's in. You take your non-dominant hand and point it with your palm in, and then your dominant hand is going to go from the inside around and here. So that looks like from the inside around like this. So a million dreams is all. And then you sign take, which is like this. So both hands like you're grabbing something and pulling it in. So that's a million dreams is all it's gonna take. Okay, so let's do it from I think of what the world can be.
Sure.
Okay. From I think of what the world can be, okay? So I think of what the world can be, a vision of the one I see, a million dreams is all it's gonna take.
And let's finish it, and then we'll go from the
Okay.
beginning, okay?
Now this last part is a million dreams for the world we're gonna make. So I have to run it through to remember it. So you already know a million dreams, so a million dreams is a million dreams. And then so for the world, you already know the sign for world. And then we is you take a W just like in world and do it from your dominant shoulder to your non-dominant shoulder. So you're kind of turning it as you go like that. So for the world, and then dreams for the world we're okay, yeah, so a million dreams for the world we're, and then going is you're taking two sign language G's. So a sign language G is kind of like this, and you're doing it to your dominant side. So for me, that's to my right. So a million dreams for the world we're gonna, and then make is two fists like this, like you are building something. So make.
Okay.
So, well, I want to run over that sentence one more time.
Go for it. Yes, sir.
So we'll run over that sentence one more time. So it's a million dreams for the world we're gonna make.
Wow. Okay, now just for your reference, I am recording all of this, and
That's
so
good.
I will put this whole thing up so you can reference it afterwards. But I'd like us to try it from the beginning once. And I know this is a lot. To learn sign language is a lot. And even though we've been going slow, if you've not learned sign language before, this might feel really fast.
So can I say?
Yeah, go for it.
So when I was asked to sign this, my teacher asked me to sign it in first period on a Thursday morning. The graduation was on Monday. So I took all of Thursday and all of Friday to learn it, and then Saturday and Sunday and all of Monday until the graduation to make it good. And that was as someone who has been signing for years. So, and it still took me, 4 almost 5 days to get it up to speed. So if this is hard for you, that's okay. You're learning it almost as fast as I learned it, so you're totally good.
So what we'll do is we'll go from the beginning one more time, and then I'll have this video and I'll send it to all of my students in Miss Pool, and you can practice it at home. So we'll just do it one more time, and then we'll wrap this up with some Q&A, okay?
Okay, cool.
All right, lead us
So we're going to
forward.
start from every, and how fast should I do it?
The same speed that we've been
Okay,
going.
cool.
Yeah.
So we're going to start from every. Remember, that's your 2 A's. Okay, so every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world can be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. Oh, a million dreams for the world we're gonna make.
Oh my gosh.
You guys
Okay.
are so good.
In sign language, this is applause. Will you give yourselves a sign language applause? Oh my gosh.
I'm
Seriously.
so proud of you guys.
Ooh, okay, I'm gonna turn my recording off. That was awesome.